My name is Parker Green.
Really, Parker Green?
Yeah.
Is that your favorite color or what?
Green is my favorite color. I like emerald green.
That's dope. Okay.
Yeah, like the Wiz kind of green.
Okay. How old are you?
21.
21?
Yeah.
How do you feel turning 21? Like, was it a big adjustment for you, or was it really too much of an adjustment?
Turning 21, I mean, there wasn't much difference other than the fact that, I can drink wine legally now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love how you said wine. You didn't go straight on the deep end and be like, yeah.
No, I just
okay.
like wine because it relaxes you.
Sorry.
So I'm from, it's more so like Galveston, but people typically say like Houston here.
Okay.
Just because like nobody knows where Texas City is, but yeah.
What is the culture difference from here and from Galveston and then San Antonio?
I mean, this is more like a city, like all in the same breath. It's like really family oriented. There's a lot more to do in Galveston, I think. But in like the actual city that like I grew up in like Texas City, because Texas City is like Galveston County. There's not as much to do. There's only like
Small
Palmer
country.
Highway. It's a small town.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned your mom. Are you big on family? Like, are you family oriented?
Yeah, I'm pretty family oriented. I mean, they can call me for anything that they need and vice versa.
Yeah.
I think family is the biggest bond, the most important thing. You know, when nobody else like really kicks it with you or likes you, I guess as much. Like your family's always gonna be the one to like give you that extra push.
That's
and then they're also not gonna be the ones to tell you like, hey, like this is good. Like if it's wrong, it's wrong. They're gonna tell you and let you know, right?
True.
Yeah.
Do you have any siblings or are you an only child?
Yeah, I got 4 siblings.
4?
Yeah.
Dang, same.
Yeah.
Boys,
So there's a lot of
girls, a
us.
mixture?
I have 2 brothers and I have 2 sisters.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Are you a middle child?
I'm the youngest.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'm a middle child.
Really?
Yeah, so.
Out of 5?
Out of 4. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
What do you call it? So my second brother, me and him are the middle child.
Nice.
How do you feel being the youngest? Is that like like everybody babies you, or are they just like?
Okay, so how do I place the accent over this? So I feel like being the youngest child, you definitely like receive the contempt of like your sisters and like your brothers, but like all in the same breath, there are like certain advantages and stuff like that to being like the last child, because I do feel like in a way like your family necessarily like caters to you a little bit more than they would like the first child or like the middle child, because they're supposed to like be leaders and be the example, or you're specifically supposed to like emulate. But
so one of the reasons we wanted to interview is because we heard you into music. Why music?
Why music? I just feel like it's a way to express yourself, of course. I know that answer's like super played out and like really watered down, but it's a way for you to express yourself, and I've always been musically inclined. Like I've done music since I was like 8 years old. I had piano lessons like when I was really young, and then I did vocal training like whenever I was in high school. I've also been a part of a few different choirs and stuff like that in a few different organizations, but music has just really been a huge creative outlet for me, and it's only been the thing that I've been good at. So I'm not really too good at anything other than making quality sound. So that's that.
So what inspires you to create music? Is it something just like you like? Because some people like, oh, I've been around it my entire life. Like my mom sings, like my family sings. Is that something that inspires you? Or
Yeah, for sure. My brother, he sings as well. My brother Todd, he's really good at singing. My mom, she sings as well. She likes a lot of like the classics, like Anita Baker, Luther Vandross, and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What genre do you feel like your music is part of?
What genre? This is a really good question. I actually just answered this not too long ago. One of my friends asked me this. If I had to put it in any genre, I'd probably say like alternative black kid. Like.
Okay, I feel that. But how do you feel the internet has affected as far as like the music industry? Do you feel like it's made it easier for artists, or has it made it a little harder for them?
The internet as a whole definitely has made everything a lot more cohesive and streamlined, I think. Specifically for music though, I think people are allowed to develop their own platforms in a way that they weren't typically able to in previous times.
Yeah.
Like say for instance, like in the 90s, like you'd actually have to be
go to radio stations.
Yeah, and get them to play your songs and try to land something with some big producer.
Yeah.
But now it's more so like the internet allows us to not necessarily take on these roles from other people, but it allows us to be everything that we need to be for ourselves, with the type of exposure that we're allowed to have on.
That's true.
You know, I think if you're actually like in the pursuit of doing something and you want to, do it, you'll go 110. Like it won't matter what people around you are doing.
True.
You'll go hard for what I guess what you believe in, what you're gifted at.
Yeah.
So,
True. That's true.
if I could be a celebrity for a day.
And it doesn't have to be like a music artist.
Yeah.
Like it could just be any celebrity.
Oh, gee, that's a good question.
You're like, damn, I had something on top of my head already.
No, so I'm not really big into like movies and stuff like that because I didn't want to pick anything from music because obviously like the interviews about it. But I guess I have to pick like a musician, maybe Michael Jackson.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What makes you? Does he kind of have like a Is that someone that you look up to as an artist?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Michael's definitely been that for all of us,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, people get inspired by different things, and
Yeah.
everyone has, different mediums of interpreting their feelings.
Yeah.
So I just feel like he places the accent over the way that I feel really well.
Yeah.
So like you'll listen to certain artists and you think like, dang, like they're really relatable. That just happens to be one that I just find, I guess, like really exceptional at what he does, and then also coincides with the way that I feel really well.
So with that being said, do you feel like, because you're 21, do you feel like you get a lot of like, oh, you're too young to know about that? Like, as far as, because obviously he's older.
Yeah.
Or was, sorry.
It's like, what you know about that kind of music?
So it's just like, do people like, okay, well, what do you know about his journey and like how he feels? Do you get a lot of downplay because of your age?
I mean, people make jokes and stuff like that. Obviously, like, okay, so listen, I really love Prince. I love Prince. I love Prince.
Literally.
But anybody, like my sisters and stuff, or like, maybe like my friends will joke and say, like, what you know about that kind of music? Like, you don't know too much about that. Like,
but like
that's before your time. That's before your time.
What's the biggest problem that you faced and had to overcome in life?
And the biggest problem that I face, I think with everyone, honestly, especially specifically with the time that we live in right now, like our generation is a lot different, of course, than other generations, and we've definitely heard that quite often. But it's more so like with the social media age and like trying to maintain like a certain image.
Yeah.
The biggest issue that I've had is like, what kind of person do I want to be, and what specifically am I trying to emulate? Like, what characteristics do I want to embody as a human being?
Yeah.
So that's like the biggest thing that I've struggled with. I've had great examples modeled before me, so you definitely pick and choose certain characteristics from people that I've grown up with, but there are definitely still some blank areas in my life that I feel like
you have questions about?
I have questions about,
Yeah.
And who do you get those answers from? So that's where it becomes difficult in a way, like when you're finding yourself and you're trying to find out who you need to be for yourself. That's taking time for it.
So one of the songs that we listened to, I liked a lot, was Elephant in the Room.
Yeah.
I just want you to talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I feel like the beat and your voice was very mellowed out, so I could hear you very well. I just want to understand.
Like what specifically the song's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely different from an artist perspective as opposed to like a listener. It's open for interpretation, I guess you can say. But I mean, from my perspective, the way that I would like to express it would be like this. So basically, like you're in the pursuit of trying to talk to someone, and you see like what they're ushering you. Like you see that they're not really into you, but like you're stupid and like you're like blinded by love in a way, and you keep pursuing it, but you know that's not like.
That's not.
You know they're not really like interested in you, I guess, like in a way. So that would technically be like the elephant in the room.
Just jump off of the song Elephant in the Room.
Yeah.
Just for a fun question.
Yeah.
If someone gave you an elephant,
yeah.
you can't sell it, you
I
can't
can
give
sell
it away.
Yeah.
Like they just gave it to you, it's yours, what would you do with that elephant?
If someone gave me an elephant, that's a really good question.
You're like, this is random as hell.
This is random, but I love it. I mean, this is cool. If someone gave me an elephant, elephants are my favorite animal, so I guess I would harbor it, but I would need like a big enough domain in order to keep it. So I mean, the art itself, I can really appreciate it. I really love music. Sometimes you're your brand, you know, and you have to make sure that you have quality sound. You have to keep consistent the authenticity to it, and you have to make sure that anything you do is gold, you know?
Yeah.
So that's where it becomes a little bit more rigorous, because like people want so much out of you and they want the best for you, I understand, but all in the same breath you just have to take it slow, like, and you have to experience life. Like, I can't, you know, fantasies do sell, but I have to be, and this is gonna sound cliche, but you have to be true to yourself, and you have to understand, like, you have to keep consistent to your audience and make sure that you're I guess keeping them engaged, but you also have to stay true to yourself, and you also have to just make sure that you're consistently putting out quality sound. I mean, my best ideas come at like 3 in the morning, you know, like when I'm just up, like when I have to go to the bathroom, and it's really annoying in a way, because you want to go back to sleep because you have other things to do, but yeah, definitely, like, I'll get ideas like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I'll go ahead and jot those down. But
So, what is the best life advice you would give to your younger self?
The best life advice? That's a really loaded question. I think the best advice would be to take it slow, smell the roses, enjoy life. You don't have to be so tense all the time. Be 110% yourself, regardless of like how anyone else around you like feels about you. But also, my younger self, I would tell myself to work a little bit harder, but just not to stress myself out.
Okay.
But yeah.
So have a plan.
Have a plan. Have discipline.
Yeah.
You know what?